So what's good? What's good? What's good, people? I just saw the interview that I saw with Bob Arum. But I made a couple of videos about him talking about Thurman, talking about Pacquiao and Crawford. I want to make another video on it, actually, because I just gone back and rewatched it. Bob Arum actually said, yeah, he did prevent the Pacquiao fight from happening, but he mentioned something else. He said, I prevented the fight from happening because the fight would only end in one way. And what Bob Arum kind of suggested is that he was trying to save Pacquiao from getting hurt in the fight. So he didn't think the fight was competitive with him and Crawford. He thought Crawford would win the fight easily. He didn't directly say it, but that's what he meant. He goes, the fight would only end in one way. And what he meant is that from a competitive standpoint, the fight wasn't competitive. I don't agree with that, but obviously that's Bob Arum's opinion. And he said, I have too much. Like, he likes Manny Pacquiao so much that he wouldn't want to see Manny Pacquiao get hurt. And he feels in a fight with Terence Crawford, he would get hurt. Now, his last fight, Terence Crawford fought a guy called Benavidez who had a dodgy knee. And that guy, I think everyone would all agree, he's not of a level of Manny Pacquiao. And Crawford wasn't able to hurt him. Yes, he stopped him. But I think he stopped him on his feet, and it wasn't like he hurt him. I don't understand what Bob Arum means that he doesn't want to make that fight because he feels that it'll only end up one way and Pacquiao might get hurt, and he doesn't want to see Pacquiao get hurt. Crawford isn't a Golovkin. You know, Crawford's a boxer. He's an artist in that ring. He's not a vicious guy that's going to come and maul you and destroy you and break your eye sockets. He's not that type of fighter. He's not that type of fighter at all. He's not a big power puncher, especially at welterweight. Pacquiao, yes, although he fought those guys at his peak, he fought guys like De La Hoya, he fought guys like Margarito, he fought guys like that are way bigger punchers than Terence Crawford. You know, Crawford's not a big banger. Let's be real. He's not a big banger, especially at the higher weight categories. You know, he's not guys out like Benavidez, but those guys weren't elite welterweights. You know, so Horn, he stopped Horn, but look how he stopped Horn. You know, he stopped Horn. Horn was a guy that was technically very deficient, and he was taking a lot of punishment. And he wasn't. I think he was beating Horn up, and the referee just thought, you know what, this guy's getting beat up, and the fight's not competitive. That's why the referee stopped it. But I don't think Crawford's got dynamite in his hands. He's not a big power puncher. So for Bob Arum to say that he feels that the fight, yes, all right, I can understand him saying the fight won't be competitive. He thinks Crawford will win the fight comfortably, fair enough. But to say that Crawford would hurt Pacquiao and that's why he wouldn't want to see that fight happen, then I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all because, you know, Pacquiao, let's be real, you know, he's fought guys much more with devastating power under Bob Arum, right, than Terence Crawford. Crawford's a good fighter, don't get me wrong, he's a good fighter, but I think Bob Arum, I understand, listen, Bob Arum promotes him and he's trying to make him sound like he's some killer and he's invincible and he's on another level to everybody, but he's not a big power punch, like a big power puncher where he's going to hurt guys. He's never really done that in his whole career. Crawford went 12 rounds with Ricky Burns. If you guys are aware of who Ricky Burns is, he's a good fighter, 3-weight world champion, but he's not, in my opinion, an elite level fighter. He's a good fighter, a very good fighter, a good British fighter, very good British fighter, but he's not as good as Amir Khan. He's not on that level. So I don't think Crawford's as good as what people. He's a good fighter, but I think he's being overhyped by Bob Arum a little bit about he'd hurt Pacquiao and you know, it won't be competitive. I don't even agree that the fight won't be competitive. I don't think Crawford's fought at a very high level. I genuinely don't. I think he's operating at a very high level, and I think he's very good. But I don't think he's fought, the opponents in his opposite corner haven't been at a very high level. And I think he faces somebody who will test his skill, who will test his talent to the very highest order. If not, put him under a lot of pressure. Because I believe if Amir Khan comes out and fights a smart fight, right, he could put Crawford in a lot of trouble. Even hurt Crawford. A lot of people say, well, you know what? Crawford fought Gamboa, and Gamboa was able to hurt him. Gamboa was probably the most skilled fighter that Terence Crawford faced. That's probably why. That's probably why. The other guys, in my opinion, were so, from a skill point of view, so short in comparison, or had so much less skill in comparison to Terence Crawford, that he was able to dominate and outbox. Gamboa was somebody that had a lot of skill. Two-time Olympian, very skillful fighter. Very fast as well. And a lot of people say, oh, but the Gamboa fight was ages ago. It wasn't that. It was just that Gamboa was skilled. So that's why he was able to put Crawford under pressure. Amir Khan also is very skilled. But not just skilled, he's bigger. He's bigger. You know, so he's even bigger than Gamboa. And he's a silver medalist. That's a tough fight for... That's why I think it's a tough fight for Crawford. Pacquiao is very, very skilled. We know that. A very hard man as well. Very good chin. Very skillful. Very fast. He has power. Good power. So, a Khan fight, a Pacquiao fight, he's obviously going to fight Amir Khan. That's going to be a very tough fight. The Pacquiao fight is also a very, very tough fight. I don't kind of look at Crawford in the same light as Bob Arum does. But then you got to understand, Bob Arum's promoting him. I haven't got anything to do with Crawford. I'm just giving you my opinion. So, I thought the comment where Bob Arum said that he would beat Sugar Ray Leonard was a bit ridiculous, if I'm totally honest with you. It's very premature at this thing to start comparing him and saying he would beat that guy. But again, you got to understand he promotes Terence Crawford. So, you've got to understand that, you know, promoters do come out with ridiculous statements like that because they're trying to make their guy sound like he's something else, you know, and we'll see how good Terence Crawford is against Amir Khan. We'll see if he's the real deal, because I think Khan gives him a lot of issues, and I think Pacquiao would give him a lot of issues as well. And I don't agree with Bob Arum that, you know, Crawford would hurt Pacquiao or Crawford would, you know, there's a chance that Crawford could injure Pacquiao. I don't agree with that at all. I think Pacquiao can definitely hold his own against Crawford. Listen, although Pacquiao's old and he's not the fighter he was, I'm pretty sure he can give Crawford all he can handle. He can give Crawford a very, very tough fight, a very difficult fight, and not an easy win for Crawford at all. You'd make the Crawford a favourite in that fight, but you'd definitely say Pacquiao's got a great chance as well in that fight. You know, I don't see it for Bob Arum to say, well, you know, wouldn't want to make that fight because that fight only ends in one way. I disagree with that completely. But guys, leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with Bob Arum that, you know, Crawford could hurt Pacquiao? Do you agree with Bob Arum that he didn't want to make that fight because he only saw the fight ending in one way? Leave your thoughts, guys. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.